Hello, we're in October and look, there is still a load of colour. So your garden should still have plenty of colour in it if you have chosen the right plants for extension of the season. Hello, I'm Rosie Hardy. This is Rosie Hardy Gardening. If you enjoy our videos, please do subscribe to the channel. Now, I have got plant material here which is giving us some wonderful colour, and we're in October. Now a lot of people start to think, oh, it's time to start shutting the garden down, but no, the garden really never shuts down. And when you think about it, there are so many jobs that you need to be doing through the later months and through the winter months. That's the time when it's so much easier to get things tidied up. You can get your pruning done, you can do a load of work in the garden, and through October into November, especially here in the UK, there is so much material that is still flowering or giving you interest out in your garden. So go out there and enjoy it. So first of all, I've got the things which are in season and in flower now. So we have got some fabulous colour here. It is that time of year for the Michaelmas daisies. So this is Symphyotrichum and this one is Algar's Pride. Algar's Pride has beautiful, huge, big, large lilac blue flowers on it with lovely yellow centres. They're really beautiful daisies and they're held horizontally to the branches. Now the habit of this is for it to naturally come out in this sort of shape. So you've got a gentle V shape on this plant and it will get quite tall. So it's going to get to somewhere around about 3 feet in height. That is 90 to a metre in height for it. And then it is a Nova Belgii type, so it is the sort that spreads by running around on the ground like this, and it'll make a decent sized clump. Not going to go charging off, but it'll make a decent clump. So after say 3 years, you'd expect it to be 18 inches to 2 foot round, very easy to lift and divide. That is 45 to 60 centimetres there. But look at these daisies, absolutely fantastic, and it cuts well. So that is superb from that point of view. Then we have another form of Symphyotrichum or Michaelmas daisy, and this particular one is Neron. Now Neron has just started to put on its beautiful bright pink flowers, masses of buds still to come. That's the same with Algar's Pride, there is still bud on there. So they've just started, they probably opened up about a week ago. And which is great, so that's really good. As the day length change, so they then all pop and start to come in, and then they keep on flowering, and they'll flower right the way through past the first couple of frosts. That won't affect them at all, they'll keep on going, and you'll probably still have flower on these in November. So they are a really good extension time for the late season in the garden. Now again, Neron puts on lots of lovely growth at the bottom here, in the bottom of the pot there, really nice growth. So it is going to make a lovely plant, but this is about the height. So this is a lovely front of border, bright colour, in your face, lovely pink, and it's just fabulous to have at this time. You know, things that are this sort of colour just brighten up the odd dull day. So they're really, really good. Again, easy to divide. Then if you want a little bit of bright yellow, then the hardy chrysanthemums. This is Chrysanthemum yellow PomPom, really beautiful round flowers here. It's covered in buds as well. This again started flowering probably a couple of weeks ago and is going to go on through. So you've got a lovely combination of blue, pink and yellow there. This one can get a little bit taller, somewhere around about 2 foot, so 60 centimetres, and about the same at the base. Regular division of your hardy chrysanthemums. They are really great, they will last through, and sometimes you can still have flower on these right up through to December. So they are fantastic. So that is Chrysanthemum yellow PomPom. And then the last of the ones that I've got, which are naturally flowering at this time of the year and extending your flower borders and giving you lots of colour, is this fabulous Serratula. Serratula seoanei or seoanei, whichever way you want to pronounce it. I usually pronounce it so that I can actually spell it. And this is just a mound of beautiful flowers. These lovely little flowers, which are a little bit like a knapweed flower or thistle flower. And half of this is bud. In fact, probably more than half of this is bud. The rest of it is flower. It's had the odd flower that's gone over, but it's going to fully flower within the next couple of weeks. Holds itself up well. All of these flowers are interlocked like this, so it doesn't, so they are actually on individual stems, but they all seem to interlock and they make this wonderful mound at the top. Lovely, beautiful, dark green foliage, which is great, and it makes a lovely semi-evergreen mound. If it's really harsh winter, then it will disappear completely and be totally herbaceous. But this is your height. It's just under 18 inches, probably 15 inches, so 35 to 45 centimetres in height, and probably about 30 centimetres round at the bottom. Full sun, so we have full sun for the Serratula. Poor soils, it likes it quite well drained. The Chrysanthemum wants to go in full sun and reasonable soil. Because both of these are Nova Belgii types of Symphyotrichum, they're much happier in a slightly semi-shady spot, so where they get sun for part of the day or shade for part of the day, or somewhere like an east-facing or a north-facing border, they are really happy and they will grow well there. They would prefer a fraction more moisture in the soil if possible. Recently I set up an email newsletter, and if you want to sign up, then please click in the comments link below or scan the QR code on the screen now. If you sign up, you get an exclusive video. This is a video of me explaining colour combinations and plant combinations in real gardens. Then we have the plants which flowered earlier in the year and now are giving you a really good show of beautiful autumn coloured foliage right the way through, and then they will defoliate or is evergreen. So we'll start off with the peony, and we have this beautiful Ito peony here. This is Bartzella. Bartzella has a wonderful big this sort of size lemon yellow flower with a red centre to it, really highly scented, and this is a fabulous form. So this is going to get up to probably just under 1 metre when they are fully mature plants, and about 60 centimetres, yeah, probably 2 foot across. So 2 foot wide by 3 foot high. That's what you'd expect with it when it's a more mature plant. Grown in a container, we don't get them quite as big as that. But look at this fabulous foliage. It's still looking good. It's slightly more cut and divided than the foliage would be on your lactiflora type peonies, but it's going to look like this and be really beautiful for at least another 2 to 3 weeks. So that is going to be fantastic. So that is also colour in your garden. Then it will defoliate, and then you're left with the shrubby growth. Absolutely no problem with that at all. Then a wonderful spring flowering plant, and this is the Amsonia. This is Amsonia hubrichtii. Amsonia hubrichtii has green foliage to start off the year, and then it gets covered in beautiful starry blue flowers known as blue star in the United States. This one can get a little bit taller than it is here, so somewhere just under or just over 2 feet, let's say, in the garden, so somewhere around about 60 to 70 centimetres in height. Then it will spread, and it comes from a central piece, and right down here in the bottom are the new buds for next year. There are about 10 of these beautiful dark buds just sitting down at the bottom of the plant. They're amazing, and that is how it's spreading. It's spreading by a little bit of growth and then buds on here. So next year this is going to have 10 or 12 stems like this, all going up, flowering beautifully in the spring, and then through the summer months it just looks like a green shrub, a little bit like a willow because they're really narrow leaves, fantastic. And then when it starts to get the shorter days and everything is turning colour, the foliage goes these amazing purple colours and sometimes yellow as well. So you'll get a combination of purple and yellow leaf on here. The foliage will drop and then you're left with purple stems. Those will last for about another 2 weeks or so, and then those will go brown, it will die, and it will collapse over. But they are brilliant for later on in the year. What's better than something that comes in the spring looking fantastic, stays looking as an elegant plant throughout the rest of the year, and then has a last hurrah just before it dies back down and becomes dormant for the winter? Amsonia hubrichtii, just a wonderful thing. And the same goes for the beautiful hydrangeas. There are lots of different hydrangeas out there. This particular one is ice crystal. I may have touched on this one before, but I do like the quercifolias, and this was more, not the fact that I've done a plant before, this is more to show you that there are hydrangeas out there which will give you beautiful foliage, and the quercifolia types will do that. So basically their leaves are in the shape of an oak, which is really great, and these will go in sun or part shade. This particular one will get to just about 1 metre by 1 metre, so 3 foot by 3 foot when it comes through, when it's a bigger plant, and it has pure white flowers on this particular one. We don't actually have a picture of hydrangea ice crystal. This is because it's so new to us on the nursery and we've not had it flowering to be able to do a photograph. So instead I have done a photograph of what my hydrangea quercifolia in the garden looks like now in the autumn. It's very similar shaped flower to the new form as well. My own, which is not this form but is the straight quercifolia, is a little bit bigger. The leaves are bigger and chunky, but it's gone this colour, and it's just creating a wonderful picture in the border, so it looks fantastic. So these are great for your late season colour. And then one which is a spring flower, and the growth that you see on it now will be next season's flowering stems, and this is Euphorbia characias wulfenii, and it's looking fabulous, and it will look like this. It will look stunning right the way through the winter time. So you've got this fabulous foliage standing up there, evergreen, looking great. It's got a slightly blue tint to the foliage. This one wants to be in full sun and free draining soil, so that is great. So this one, I'm going to look forward to these putting on their flower heads above there, looking stunning. The ones in my garden look great right the way through the early part of the spring, but at this time of the year they're giving you some form and shape in the border and some colour with all of this wonderful foliage. So it's not all about the fact that you've got flower right the way through. If you've got form and colour with the foliage, then that is fantastic, and that's what you're really wanting to. And all of this is going to last right the way through until November. So don't start thinking about shutting the garden down yet. In fact, the garden never really shuts down. There is always work to do. There's plenty to be done. And if you don't get some of those jobs done in the autumn and through the winter time, you really will struggle to catch up later on. So remember, there are things that need to be done right the way through the winter months. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please do subscribe to the channel. If you want to watch another video of mine, YouTube thinks this one is perfect for you.